Not Remy Ma out here doing the absolute most, sending explicit videos to Papoose after cheating on him for months with his own protege, Easy the Block Captain. The irony? She really thought those clips would somehow shake him enough to leave. Claressa. But he wasn't fazed. Not even a little. Claressa, on the other hand, is making it crystal clear. She's not here for the drama, and she definitely isn't tolerating any thirst coming from Remy's direction. Now Remy's realizing she fumbled badly. She walked away from the one person who stood beside her through everything, and now that he's found peace and moved on, she's spiraling. She's sending him videos he never asked for, desperate attempts to grab attention from a man who's no longer checking for her. And Claressa? She's unbothered, but not silent. She's putting Remy in her place, reminding her that games won't be played here. But let's pause and ask, what's Remy really trying to pull off? What's the end game? Why is she clawing her way back now, of all times? The answer is simple. She's pressed. Claressa is everything she's not, and probably never will be. A multi-time world champion boxer, undefeated in 5 weight classes, Claressa is respected, focused, and accomplished. Meanwhile, Remy's music career lost its steam after Nicki Minaj blew past her, and her time behind bars only added to the setbacks. Then came the real blow, cheating on Papoose, the very man who held her down when nobody else would. Let's not forget, Papoose was more than loyal. This man risked his own freedom, literally, trying to bust her out of jail with a skeleton key. That's not just loyalty, that's ride or die on a whole different level. And what did she do? She played herself. Now that Papoose has upgraded, emotionally, mentally, and romantically, Remy's stuck watching from the sidelines. And it's eating her alive. Her plan? Apparently to act like none of it happened and hope he'll be swayed by a few late-night videos. But the reality is setting in fast. Papoose has moved on. Claressa isn't just a rebound, she's the upgrade, and Remy's not handling it well. This whole mess is turning into a public spiral. But one thing's for sure, Claressa's not the one, and Remy might be learning that the hard way. He had been visiting her in jail consistently for 6 months. 6 months. That alone shows how deep his loyalty ran. But it could have gone south fast if he didn't have solid legal support backing him. Papoose wasn't just showing up. He was showing out. While most people would have walked away, he stood tall for Remy Ma. He didn't just hold her down, he married her while she was still behind bars. Yup, they exchanged vows over the phone. No fancy venue, no crowd, no cameras, just raw commitment. And even though he had every opportunity to do what most wouldn't blame him for, flirt, cheat, live his life freely, he chose loyalty. Papoose didn't step out on her once, not one. Scandal, not one slip-up. Meanwhile, the world kept spinning and he kept waiting. But the moment she walked out those prison doors, it was like she forgot the blueprint. All that love, all that loyalty, tossed aside like it meant nothing. Instead of rebuilding what they had, she turned her back and started creeping with one of his own boys. Not just a random, not a stranger, but someone from his circle. That betrayal hits different. What's wild is she genuinely believed he'd still be there, still begging, still chasing, but nah. He switched lanes, and when people saw him moving on, and not just moving on, but leveling up, the internet nearly exploded. Folks assumed he'd fall back, maybe pick someone low-key, quiet, out of the spotlight. But he pulled up with Claressa Shields, and Remy, she lost it. Claressa's not just beautiful, she's young, wealthy, decorated in the ring, and laser-focused. She's got gold belts and a golden future. She's not looking to start mess, she's securing legacy. And while Claressa's name is ringing bells, Remy's stuck in a scandal loop with Easy, like, girl, what are you even doing? The part that really stings for Remy? She thought she was irreplaceable. She figured Papoose would settle for someone she could look down on, someone she could clown. But when she realized he actually upgraded, she couldn't stomach it. Instead of moving on, she moved online. Back in December, she tried to stir up drama and posted screenshots of Papoose, passed out at her place, still on the phone with Claressa. She captioned it like she caught him slipping. Papoose dumma, I was asleep on the phone with Claressa Shields laying in my house, and he refuses to leave. Then she added that Claressa hung up the second she heard her voice. She thought she was exposing something. Instead, she exposed her own desperation. Claressa didn't stay silent either. She clapped back in the comments like, "A woman with 2 boyfriends mad at a man that has a girlfriend? Remy Ma, if I ain't the only one. Why are you tagging me?" The shade wasn't subtle. And Remy, she doubled down. She dropped even more screenshots. This time, showing messages where Claressa allegedly asked Papoose to make Remy stop talking about her because the mess was becoming bad PR for her movie, which was set to drop on December 25th. According to Remy, the whole stunt was a sabotage plot. She claimed Claressa and her PR team were out here pushing fake stories to make her look like the villain and paint Papoose as some flawless man of the year. She said she begged him to clear the air to shut it down, but he kept telling her to just stay quiet. That's what she told him. Like silence was going to fix all of this. Well, he's done staying quiet. And now, it's messy. She said he'd never mess with her because she was too ugly. Oh, okay. But he kept the receipts. And now the world's about to see the truth since she wanted to act bold online. If she thought this was going to stay private, she was dead wrong. And while everyone was wondering where Papoose was when Remy started dragging Claressa online, he wasn't sitting in the background anymore. He hopped on Instagram and dropped bombshell receipts. Clear proof that Remy had been creeping around with Easy on Christmas Day. Christmas. Instead of being with her kids, she was out doing dirt. And Papoose was right at home with his daughter, thinking he was still holding his family together. He posted, "While I was at home with my daughter last Christmas, this is where Remy was. Now that I've moved on, she's angry and making up lies. Narcissist behavior. I told her we could divorce like adults. She refused, just because I wouldn't lie and say I didn't knock this chump out." Yup, he said it. He still had the messages. Remy literally begging him to cover up the fight. But he wasn't playing along anymore. "Who cares?" he added. "He didn't even throw one punch. Super soft. Last time I saw him, he was curled up in the fetal position. Everybody saw it. I knocked him out. Remy Ma woke him up and went home with him for 4 days. I went home to my daughter. You do the math. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Claressa's ex-boyfriend, who she already dumped, jumped into the mix like he was still in the running. He took to Facebook, throwing threats at Remy. When I hit Remy Ma, don't be on my nuts." Sir, what? It's when your ex's ex is threatening your current ex-wife that you know you're in the middle of a straight-up circus. After all that noise, it looked like Remy backed off. For a minute. But that peace didn't last long. Because Papoose and Claressa, they started showing up everywhere together. Red carpets, charity events, even low-key family outings. They weren't hiding. They were thriving. And Claressa? She wasn't shy anymore either. She straight up said it. She's not. Just with Papoose for attention. She's in love with him. Period.
Okay.
As if everything that's already gone down wasn't wild enough, now there's talk that Papoose might be getting ready to put a ring on Claressa's finger. Yep, that kind of ring. And you already know, when that rumor started floating around, Remy didn't take it well. Word on the street is, she started spiraling again, pulling the same stunts that already backfired before. Sources close to the situation are saying she's been trying to wedge herself back into Papoose's life by sending him explicit photos and videos straight to his phone.